Ryan started showing up more often. At first, it was harmless. He'd drop by for coffee, talk about work, act polite. Then it became constant. Every time I came home, he was there. On the couch. In the kitchen. Sometimes even in our bedroom doorway, chatting with Sophie like he lived there. One afternoon, I came home early. He was watching TV, eating chips from my cabinet. Didn't even look guilty. He just waved and said, "Sophie said I could hang out." Like that explained everything. I stared at him, wondering how far this would go. Later, I asked Sophie about it. She rolled her eyes. "He's my best friend, Ethan. Don't be controlling." Controlling. That word hit like a slap. Since when did asking for privacy become control? She said Ryan had a spare key. In case something happens, she said. Because if she slipped in the shower, apparently Ryan would save her. Not me. Ryan, who used face masks and wore tighter jeans than she did. I laughed at first. She didn't. She said I was overreacting. But the next day, I came home and found him again. This time, he was chopping vegetables in the kitchen. Like it was his place. No knock. No text. Nothing. Just Ryan, making himself at home. I said, "Hey man, maybe just text me first next time." He smiled. The kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. "Sure bro, my bad." But he didn't stop. The next morning, Sophie came at me like a storm. "What did you say to Ryan?" she yelled. "He said you made him feel unwelcome." Unwelcome. In my own home. I told her I only asked for a little respect. She said I embarrassed him. She said he was family. Family. Last I checked, families don't walk in uninvited. I started noticing how she talked about him. How her voice changed when his name came up. She'd light up. Laugh louder. Defend him like he was made of glass. Every conversation somehow ended with Ryan. If I suggested dinner, she'd ask, "Should we invite him?" If I wanted a weekend trip, she'd say, "Let's ask Ryan, he knows good places." It stopped feeling like a relationship. It felt like I was dating both of them. But Ryan had the upper hand. He didn't have to argue. He just existed, and I was the problem for noticing. I tried to play it cool. Tried to trust her. But every time that door opened and it was him, something in me cracked. One night, I walked out of the shower, towel around my waist. And there he was again. Standing in the hallway. Holding my mail. He froze. I froze. He muttered, "Didn't think you'd be home this early." I nearly lost it. That night, I told Sophie it had to stop. No more keys. No more unannounced visits. She called me paranoid. Said Ryan was harmless. But deep down, I knew harmless people don't hide behind spare keys. Something was already broken. And neither of them cared. The morning after the towel incident, Sophie was furious. She slammed the door, packing like a storm in a small room. "What did you say to Ryan?" she shouted. "He said you made him feel uncomfortable." I blinked, trying not to laugh. "I told him to text before walking in while I'm half naked." She glared like I had confessed to a crime. "You hurt his feelings, Ethan. He was just trying to help." Help? By holding my mail, while I'm dripping water on the floor. I said, "He crossed a line." She crossed her arms. "You've always been jealous of our friendship." Jealous? The easiest word to use when someone's guilty. I said nothing. She smiled like she'd won. Then she dropped the bomb. "You need to apologize to him." I actually laughed. "You're serious?" "Yes," she said, calm, cold, rehearsed. "You'll go to his house on Saturday, in front of his wife." I thought I misheard. "In front of Emily." "Yes, she needs to see that you respect our bond." Our bond. The words tasted like poison. She wasn't asking. She was commanding. Sophie wanted a scene, a performance of power. I saw it in her eyes. She wanted to humiliate me. She wanted Ryan to see me kneel, to make me look small. I said nothing. I just nodded slowly. Fine, I said. I'll apologize. Her face lit up like a child getting candy. She started planning it immediately. She rehearsed lines, wrote notes, even practiced my tone. Start by saying you projected your insecurities onto him. I stared at her speechless. Then thank him for supporting our relationship, she continued. She was proud of this. Proud of turning betrayal into theater. She didn't want peace. She wanted control. I smiled and said, okay. But inside, something shifted. The part of me that cared was gone. She talked for hours about accountability. She said Emily would finally see how mature she was. She thought this would fix everything. She thought she was untouchable. I sat there, pretending to listen. Pretending to be ashamed. But all I felt was calm. The kind of calm before lightning hits. That night, she hugged me and whispered, "You'll thank me after this." I smiled into her shoulder. "I bet I will," I said. When she fell asleep, I stared at the ceiling. Every lie echoed in my head. Every excuse. Every time she made me feel crazy for noticing. Now she wanted me to play the fool publicly. She wanted me to apologize for seeing the truth. So I made a promise to myself. If she wanted a show, I'd give her one. But it wouldn't end the way she imagined. Not this time. Not ever again. A few nights before the apology, Sophie pushed me to go out with Ryan. She said we needed to bond. I didn't want to, but she insisted. So I went. We ended up at some overpriced bar downtown. Ryan ordered for both of us like he owned the place. Halfway through his third drink, he leaned closer. "You ever feel like you're living two lives?" he asked. I shrugged. He grinned. "I've been seeing someone," he said. "It's insane. The excitement, the risk. She just gets me, man." I felt my stomach twist. I didn't ask who. I didn't need to. He kept talking. "She's got this wild energy. Can't stay away from her." He laughed, proud of himself. Like cheating was a game. I said nothing. The next morning, he called me in a panic. "Hey bro, forget what I said last night, okay? I was drunk." "Yeah, sure." I hung up. But something didn't sit right. That same day, Sophie started acting strange. She kept her phone glued to her hand. She smiled at texts and hid the screen. Said it was work stuff. That night, I woke up around 2 a.m. Her phone lit up beside me. "Ryan." The message read, "Still thinking about the other night. I can't stop." I stared at it numb. There it was. The truth. No guessing. No overthinking. Just proof. When she stirred, I put the phone back down and closed my eyes. From that moment, I wasn't her boyfriend anymore. I was her witness. She made coffee the next morning like nothing happened. Asked if I wanted pancakes. Smiled like she hadn't burned everything to ashes. I smiled back. Inside, I was counting the minutes until Saturday. I wasn't going to leave quietly. I wasn't going to yell or cry. I was going to end it clean. I spent the next few days gathering evidence. Screenshots. Bank statements. Delivery orders to Ryan's address. One food order even said, "Happy birthday, Emily." Emily's birthday was 2 months ago. I checked our shared calendar. Found matching, girls' night entries that lined up with Ryan's Uber receipts. It all fit together. Every lie had a timestamp. Every secret had a receipt. I created a folder. Labeled it Ryan's Greatest Hits. Saved copies to my email. She wasn't deleting her way out of this. Sophie still practiced my apology lines in the mirror. She talked about how Ryan's wife would see how mature she was. I kept nodding. kept pretending. But in my head, I was already rewriting the scene. The apology wasn't going to be hers. It was mine. And I was going to deliver it perfectly. With evidence. With witnesses. With silence sharp enough to cut through her lies. Saturday couldn't come fast enough. Saturday came faster than I expected. Sophie was glowing that morning. She made me coffee, kissed my cheek, and said, "This will fix everything." She wore her favorite white dress. The one she used when she wanted attention. She rehearsed my lines again on the drive. "Say you were insecure. Say you trust Ryan now." I nodded. I let her think I was broken. But my mind was calm, focused, steady. We pulled up to Ryan's house just after 6. He opened the door like a saint, welcoming a sinner. "Hey man," he said, smiling too wide. Emily appeared behind him, soft-spoken and kind. She had no idea what was about to happen. Sophie gave me a small nod. The signal. The show was starting. We sat in the living room. Sophie next to Ryan. Emily across from them. Me alone in a chair near the fireplace. The tension hummed like static. I took a deep breath. Looked at Ryan. "Ryan," I began, voice calm. "I've been thinking a lot, and I realize I owe you an apology." Sophie smiled. Emily smiled politely. Ryan leaned back, satisfied. "I've been selfish," I continued. "I let my discomfort cloud my judgment. That wasn't fair." Ryan nodded slowly. Sophie's grin widened. She thought she'd won. "But that's not the full apology," I said. Her smile froze. I turned to Emily. "Actually, you're the one who deserves the truth." The room went silent. Emily tilted her head. Ryan's jaw tightened. Sophie shifted in her seat. "Your husband has been cheating on you," I said evenly. "And not with some stranger, with Sophie." Emily blinked. The air turned solid. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone. Opened the folder. Placed it on the table in front of her. Screenshots. Receipts. Uber rides. Everything. Emily stared. Her eyes flicked across the screen. Ryan's face went pale. Sophie stood up, shaking. "You're making this up," she shouted. I didn't look at her. I looked at Ryan. "You walk into my home whenever you want," I said quietly. "Now you know what it feels like when someone walks into yours." Emily stood. No words. Just silence. She walked out of the room without looking back. Ryan tried to speak. Nothing came out. Sophie's voice cracked. "Ethan, please." I picked up my phone, stood up slowly. Looked at both of them one last time. Apology delivered. Then I walked out. No yelling. No slamming doors. Just the sound of truth closing behind me. The night air was cold, clean, perfect. For the first time in months, I felt free. And silence finally sounded like peace. The night after the confrontation, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 17 unread messages. 3 missed calls. All from Sophie. "What did you do?" she wrote. "You're insane. You ruined everything." I didn't reply. Silence was louder than anything I could say. Then another text came. "You made this up, Ethan. You faked it all." I smiled. I sent her one screenshot. The message from Ryan. "Still thinking about the other night. I can't stop." No words. Just the image. She read it within seconds. Then nothing. No reply. No excuse. Just silence. The next wave came from her friends. They called me cruel, heartless, toxic. They said I humiliated her. I sent them the same screenshot. One by one. No explanation. No emotion. By morning, the group chat was dead. Sophie switched from rage to guilt. She emailed me. "You're a manipulative liar." Then a few hours later, I hope you're happy. Then at 2 a.m., maybe we can fix this. I didn't respond. Instead, I sent one email. Subject line, 30 days notice. She wasn't on the lease. It was my apartment. My name. My space. You have 30 days to move out, I wrote. Her silence lasted 2 days. Then she started playing loud music. Songs about betrayal and strength. She left notes on the counter. You didn't have to do this. You'll regret this. I took pictures of each one and threw them away. I spent most nights at my friend Jake's place. He called it post-war recovery. Every time a new text came in, he laughed. She tried the "I was confused" line yet. By day 6, I went back to check the apartment. She was packing. At least I thought she was. Until I saw her trying to shove my TV into her car. That's not yours, I said. She froze. I paid for half of it, she shouted. No, you didn't, I said. I've got the receipt. Her eyes burned with hate. You destroyed my life. I stayed calm. You did that yourself. She dropped the TV on the couch and stormed off. The next morning, she was gone. No goodbye. No apology. Just an empty closet and a sticky note. You think you won. You didn't. I laughed. Took a photo. Threw it in the trash. For the first time in months, the apartment was quiet. Too quiet. No shouting. No lies. Just peace. Sophie had wanted control. Now she had nothing. No home. No friends. No reputation. All I did was tell the truth. And the truth did the rest. Weeks passed. The silence felt new. I finally started sleeping again. The apartment smelled clean. No perfume, no lies. I thought it was over. Then one Thursday night, I came home late. The door was slightly open. I froze. Every light was on. There was a candle burning on the table. Vanilla. Her favorite scent. And on the couch, wearing my old hoodie, was Sophie. She looked up and smiled like nothing happened. Hey, she said softly. I knew you'd come around. My chest tightened. How did you get in here? I asked. She laughed. That new lock you put in, you forgot the side latch. I had the spare. She said it like it was clever. Like this was a romantic surprise. I stayed near the door. You need to leave, I said. Her smile didn't move. You don't mean that, she whispered. You're just hurt, I get it, but we were good together. I shook my head. You cheated, Sophie. You lied, you humiliated me. She blinked. That wasn't me. That was the scared version of me. I almost laughed. She actually believed it. I took a slow step forward. You don't live here anymore, I said. You're trespassing. Her jaw twitched. Then she snapped. You think exposing me makes you better, she yelled. You think you won. She grabbed my phone. Tried to rip it from my hand. I pulled away. Her nails scratched my wrist. Then she started throwing things. Books. Frames. A lamp crashed to the floor. You don't get to erase me, she screamed. I dialed 911. She saw the screen. You're really calling the cops on me? Yes, I said. You broke in. You're unstable. She laughed, high-pitched and wild. They won't believe you. You're a guy. They'll think you're bitter. I turned toward the wall camera near the door. It's all on video, I said quietly. Her face went pale. The police arrived within 10 minutes. She tried to charm them. Said we were reconnecting. I played the footage. Her voice cracked when they saw it. They escorted her out. I didn't press charges. Not yet. The next morning, I filed for a restraining order. Simple. Clean. No drama. A few days later, Her parents called. Not to defend her. To apologize. They said she'd been kicked out. Even they were done. After that, silence returned. No more texts. No more late-night knocks. Just quiet. Real quiet. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't bracing for chaos. I woke up without dread. I made coffee, opened the window, and breathed. Freedom didn't feel loud. It felt like peace. And peace was finally mine. A few weeks later, I met Emily for coffee. She looked lighter, calm, finally free. Her divorce was almost done. She said Ryan signed everything without a fight. We talked like survivors of the same storm. No bitterness. Just relief. She smiled and said, "You look different." "Feels different," I replied. No messages. No chaos. Just quiet mornings and open air. Sophie disappeared completely. Her friends stopped defending her. Even the ones who once called me cruel now whispered, "She went too far." Her job was gone. Her name was mud. And still, I didn't celebrate. I didn't need to. Truth had done the work for me. I came home that night and looked around the apartment. Every trace of her was gone. New furniture. New music. New peace. Revenge had never been the goal. It was about freedom. About silence that didn't hurt anymore. I turned off my phone. Sat on the couch. And for the first time, the quiet didn't feel empty. It felt earned. It felt like mine.